Welcome to the Sick Tones from Home mini course, we will call it. My name is Ryan Bruce. My friends call me Fluff. The internet knows me as Fluff. And if you're watching this, you probably are aware, at least maybe a little bit, that I am the host of a YouTube channel called Riffs, Beards, and Gear. And I also play guitar for a band called Dragged Under. And I am here today to kind of show you a few tips and tricks I have learned in my gazillion years on planet Earth to quickly and maybe streamline your tone dialing a little bit more. And hopefully along the way, you will pick up some things that you perhaps didn't think of or didn't know. So this first section is called listening to your guitar. And the reason why I like to call it that is because we're not going to lay down the guitar on the couch, and we are not going to take therapist notes as it tells us all of the about all of our bad riffs that we play on the guitar. No, sir. We are going to listen to our guitar's DIs. Now, why would we want to do this? Well, for me, when I'm trying something new, whether it be a pedal, an amplifier, a guitar amp sim, a processor, I need to know how my guitar actually sounds. Now, in my spare time, I will record direct signals, DIs, of my guitars and just listen and compare to other guitars that I have, or maybe others that I find on the internet, because I always want to kind of be aware of what the general sonic signature is for any of my given guitars. Thusly, if I know how that sounds, I can kind of aim in the correct direction when I am aiming for a specific tone that I need to dial in with a given amp, if that makes sense. So I've gone ahead and recorded 3 different DIs of the same part of the song. In this particular instance, it's Instability by my band, Dragged Under. And we are going to compare 3 different DIs. First, from an Ernie Ball Music Man Stingray. This is my Sparkle Boy that I tour with a lot. This has an active Fishman Fluff prototype signature pickup. And then I figured we would mix it up a little bit. And I'm going to also throw in a 2022 PRS Tremonti. This is a stock guitar, not active pickup. This is a passive Tremonti treble pickup in the bridge. Very, very awesome sounding guitar, as we will see in just a second. And then lastly, I thought I would toss in my 1990 Bernie Les Paul Custom with the Seymour Duncan Black Winter pickup. Now, this is also a passive pickup. All of these are definitely in the rock and or metal flavor. However, all of these things are applicable no matter the tone you are trying to dial. But for this particular example, we're going to be going for more of a high gain kind of sound. So I've gone ahead and recorded the same passage with all 3 guitars, and I'm going to cycle through the DIs a couple of times, and I'm going to just kind of go on down the line in real time and switch them so you can hear. Now on the screen, I've color coded these. So I'm going to turn this solo off. So this top DI is the Tremonti. The middle guy is the Bernie Les Paul with the Duncan Black Winter. And this bottom guy is the Music Man Stingray RS with my prototype Fishman pickup in it. And you're going to hear some differences. We're going to listen, and then we're going to talk about it. So here we go. I'm going to just start with the Tremonti and work my way down. Okay, so what can we gather from comparing these 3 DI files that I've recorded? Well, one, the Tremonti has more low end and more kind of lower mids than the other 2 guitars. The Bernie Les Paul with the Duncan Black Winter pickup has a little less low mids and a little less low end, but a nicer top end in comparison to the Tremonti. And then, but with kind of a similar mid-range signature. And then with the Music Man, I feel like the mids shift a little bit and we have much less low end. There's a tighter low end and the top end is nice, but not as present as the Bernie. So this is something that I would kind of catalog away in my brain. And in the past, I have kept cataloged DI files of me playing the same passage over and over again of various pickup configurations with various guitars. I mean, that's not unusual for something that I would do. However, knowing this, if I was going to start getting a high gain guitar tone, what guitar would I choose? Well, I wouldn't choose the Tremonti because I'm thinking I want to palm mute, I want to chug maybe a little bit, I want tightness, but I don't want any flubbiness. Of course, I can dial it out, but I'm not probably going to choose that Tremonti guitar, at least for now. If I had to go for a tight tone, I would probably pick the Bernie or the Music Man. In this case, probably the Music Man, because if I want more low end, I can add it in later. It's harder to take out accurately and easier to just add some back in if we need to. So I would go with the Music Man in this scenario. And that kind of segues into another thought that I have when I was always dialing in stuff in the past is, where do you want a given thing? For example, I was just talking about the low end. Where do you want it? Do you want it now? Do you want the low end going into the amp, or do you want to use the amp to add back in the low end? Now, these are going to sonically sound much, much different from each other, but these are the kinds of things I am thinking of when I'm choosing a guitar. And if I don't have the luxury of having a gazillion guitars, this is often why back in the day, I would be switching out pickups because I would want to be playing with where the mid-range was sitting, where the top end was sitting. Is it too sizzly, too crunchy, too much low end, not enough low end, etc., etc. I mean, this is literally the reason why there is an aftermarket pickup industry. It's because of this reason right here. Now, lastly, there is no right or wrong here. Whatever you choose is the correct answer. I just kind of want to get you thinking in the context of, well, how will this affect everything from here on out? Because everything starts with your guitar. So if you have wild low end or wild top end, that's only going to get amplified as we go further on down the chain. If we start adding overdrive pedals and, high gain amplifiers and top heavy speaker cabinets, for example. All right, let's move on.